They warned her many times to stop bathing at night, but she refused to listen. Then one night, something in the dark started calling her name. "Auntie, stop bathing at night. The night is not for you," her grandmother begged. But the girl only laughed. "Grandma, leave me alone. I have been bathing at night for years. Nothing has happened." The old woman shook her head. "I just pray you don't learn the hard way." Her name was Amara. She was the most beautiful girl in the village of Obioma. People admired her smooth, dark skin, bright eyes, and gentle smile. But Amara had one strange habit. She loved bathing at night. While everyone else bathed before sunset, Amara always waited until darkness covered the village. Then she carried her clay pot behind the house where no one could see her. Her mother, Mama Ife, warned her many times, "Amara, stop this night bathing. When the sun sleeps, some things begin to move." But Amara laughed. "Mama, those are old stories. I like the night. It is cool and peaceful." Her grandmother, Mama Neka, who rarely spoke, said softly one evening, "It is not the water that is dangerous. It is what the water calls in the dark." Amara ignored her. That night, she carried her pot outside as usual. The moon was bright. The air was calm. She hummed softly as she poured cold water over her body. Everything felt peaceful. Then suddenly, a cold breeze passed. Amara stopped. The night became too quiet. No crickets, no frogs, no leaves moving. Then she heard it, breathing, slow, deep, close. She turned quickly. Nothing was there. Her heart raced. She finished bathing and ran inside. The next night she bathed again, and the breathing returned. This time it was closer. That night she could not sleep. At breakfast she asked, "Mama, did you hear anything outside last night?" Mama Ife stopped stirring the pot. "I told you to stop bathing at night." Amara rolled her eyes. It was just the wind. But Mama Neka whispered from the corner. It was not the wind. That evening, Amara went outside again.
She tried to act brave. She poured water over herself. Then she heard the breathing once more, louder, heavier, like something was crouching nearby, waiting. "Who is there?" she whispered. No answer. She touched the water in the pot. It was freezing cold. Then the clay pot shook by itself. Just once. Amara screamed and ran inside. Her grandmother rushed to her. "What happened?" Amara pointed outside. Mama Neka looked through the window and said words that made Amara shake. "It has noticed you."
If you were Amara, would you still go outside again? Comment yes or no below, and keep watching. The next day, Amara stayed indoors. She kept looking at the door. Her skin still felt cold. As evening came, she wanted to bathe again. The urge crawled over her skin. "I will fetch water early," she said. But Mama Neka blocked the door. "You are not going outside tonight." "I cannot sleep when I feel dirty," Amara cried. Her grandmother replied, "Better to stay dirty than be taken." That night, after everyone slept, Amara quietly sneaked outside with her pot. The air was heavy. Even the insects were silent. She bent down and filled the pot. Then she heard a whisper, very close. Amara. She looked around. No one. Again, the whisper came. Amara. This time, it came from inside the pot. Her hands shook. She looked into the water and screamed. A pale face floated inside. Eyes closed. Mouth open. She dropped the pot and ran back into the house. She collapsed into her grandmother's arms. From that night, Amara could not sleep. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw the face in the water. The next morning, Mama Nekka spread ashes and salt by the door. No more bathing at night, she said. But later that afternoon, when everyone was busy, Amara went to the back door. She lifted the mat. Under it was a black bead buried in the dirt. She picked it up. Immediately, a cold wind blew through the room. The bead dropped from her hand. Then it rolled by itself across the floor. Tap, tap, tap. Something knocked from under the ground. Amara ran. Her grandmother opened her eyes. What did you touch? Just a bead. Mama Nekka turned pale. Not everything buried should be uncovered. That night, the tapping continued until morning. The next night was worse. At midnight, one knock at the door. Then silence. Again. Knock. Then from the window. Then from the back door. Something was moving around the house. Then a soft woman's voice spoke outside. Amara, child of the water, come wash your sins. Amara trembled. The curtain moved by itself. Then Mama Ife screamed. A wet footprint stood on the floor. Small, bare, and when Amara looked closely, it matched her own foot exactly. She cried all night. When morning came, her sleeping cloth was soaked with muddy river water. Not clean water, river water. The smell of wet leaves filled the room. I did not go outside, Amara cried. But nobody answered. Later, her mother found wet footprints leading into Amara's room. The toes were too long, the heels too sharp. They were not human. That night, Mama Nekka lit herbs in the fire. If you hear your name, do not answer. What if it sounds like you? Amara asked. Especially then. Amara tried to stay awake. But sometime in the night, she heard it again. Amara. She sat up. The lamp was low. The room was dark. Her grandmother's mat was empty. Her mother's mat was empty too. She was alone. Again the whisper came. Come. She stood slowly. Her wrapper was wet again. fresh mud covered her feet. She did not want to move, but her legs walked on their own toward the curtain. Then suddenly, a cold hand grabbed her ankle from under the mat. She looked down and screamed. A long, pale hand, green nails, wet fingers. The lamp fell and went out. Darkness swallowed the room, and from the corner, she heard breathing, slow, wet, steady. Then a voice whispered, "Why do you keep bathing at night?" At sunrise, Mama Neka found Amara shaking in the corner. A giant wet handprint was on the floor. Mama Ife began to cry. "We need help." That evening, they called an old healer named Papa Chica. He walked around the compound with herbs and salt. He stopped near the bathing basin. "This is where it entered," he said. "What entered?" Amara whispered. "The spirit of the water." Amara nearly collapsed. "But I stopped bathing at night." Papa Chica shook his head. "It is no longer about bathing. It is about what you awakened." "How do I stop it?" she cried. The old healer looked at her seriously. "You must return to the river alone at midnight and beg for mercy." Amara's lips trembled. "But if I fail?" He answered softly. "Then next time, it will not come with water." At night, Amara dressed in white. She walked barefoot to the river. The moon was full. The wind was silent. Her heart pounded. She stood at the riverbank and whispered, "I am sorry." Nothing happened. Tears filled her eyes. I was proud. I refused to listen. "Please forgive me." The river bubbled once. Then behind her, she felt movement. She turned. Standing there was another Amara. Same face. Same eyes. But smiling strangely. The figure stared at her, then slowly faded into the night. The river became still. The cold feeling vanished. Amara fell to her knees and cried. She was free, or so she thought. As she turned to leave, a soft whisper rose from the water. "If you forget again, I will be waiting." Never be too proud to listen to wise advice. Some warnings are given to protect us from dangers we cannot see. Disobedience can open doors that are hard to close. Do you think Amara truly escaped, or was the spirit only hiding? Tell me in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss the next scary story.